things happen just by accident sometimes too, right?
A million monkeys typing on a million typewriters made the world's first automatic chooching log splitter. Only thing missing from this abortion is a coat hanger. Okay. Sometimes you leave the dew claw alone. Miraculous that you got that out of the mine in your lunch pail.
So, what we got here is beginnings of a wood splitter.
This reminds me of my wife, but could you go a little bit faster?
You have to hook this up to your wife, man.
Tell there was an elk chicken here leaving little messes everywhere, but in this case, ruined log splitting for me forever. He happened to mention, it's always the outliers. You know, you like to have fellas with funny ideas around because they got funny ideas. You know, if I wanted to talk to myself, I'd talk to myself. It's better to have somebody with a differing sense of opinions. Says he to me, you ever notice these YouTube types with more money than brains? What are you driving at, Dewclaw? There's always some mouth breather, mouth agape, running the valve. I put the log in, I pull the valve. Why can't you automate something like that? This is the prototype for the Cockford Ollie log jammer model X-69. The X designation is for prototype. Fail fast and fail hard. I got some 8018 welding rod. We're just gonna ticky-tack all this together and then lay some beads. I don't want to look like an asshole in front of my internet friends. Our house, if you stick it, you gotta lick it. Oh, come on. That was close. You can take a mental image, snapshot of the weld puddle, and it's the same consistently throughout the weld. From 1 second to the next, you will generally have a beautiful weld. What's my excuse, you ask? Well, you never talk about the time you did the fully inverted 360 McFlippy with the flippy fucky bit. You only ever talk about the time you fumbled your phone and fell off the curb and got hit by a bus and was in traction for 2 years. I love to see your buddies suffer. Just in solidarity. Human, am I right? Well, that does not sound good. If it sounds like bacon, it's good. If it smells like bacon, you're on fire. You can buy the t-shirt there in the merch shop. Yeah, that last part, it didn't sound good, and it sure doesn't look good. If you rewind the tape where the weld was sounding the best and just nice and smooth, that's where the best weld is. Not to worry, that'll buff right out. What? No PLC, no programmable logic controller, no ladder logic programming giving you eye cancer. Nay, 2 simple relays. They're flip-flopping in order to get this thing to chooch to and fro. Oversight, no. Bluetooth connectivity, no licensing fees, no fucking bullshit. Just 2 relays. Lo and behold, you can tell an Alec Chicken was working here on account of the fucking schmoo left everywhere. Open valves. I realize kettle, black, but it's my fucking shop. My fucking shop. 12 volts from the battery, 10 amp, fuse to the E-stop. You hit the E-stop plunger, that opens up these contacts, no power. Here's the reset and enable switch. You close this, it gives power. Stops at LS1. LS1 is the limit switch, end of travel limit switch with the little roller. R1 is the contacts of this relay coil. And then it goes to S2. S2 is the direction, extend and retract that hydraulic cylinder. So if we energize that and say we want to extend it, we flip the switch over to extend. Power goes to the coil of the solenoid. That opens up the hydraulic port and extends the cylinder. You'll note there's a diode here so that we do not backfeed into the relay to change the contacts and latch it. We don't want it to latch in position when we're doing it manually. We want to be able to jog it. So if we have a hang badang or a big bloody chungus that won't split or whatever, we can get in there safely without the Jesus thing turning us to hamburger meat. Now, in its normal operation, once it actuates one of these end of travel switches, it will latch. So let's have a look at this. So if it reaches the LS1 end of travel limit switch, it will close this guy, actuate the relay, which closes this guy, actuates the solenoid through the diode, which causes it to extend until we reach the end of travel limit switch number 2, which opens up both of these limit switches, those little roller ones. They have 2 sets of contacts, normally open and normally closed. That allows us to cross-connect them so that we get a flip-flop, to and fro, in and out. Automatic electro-hydraulic sexy time. Well, that's the problem with the getting spot. You never know what kind of stroking you're actually going to get. Fucking short stroke got me again. That is not going to work. 13.5 inches. That's exactly right. In the words of that Vedic philosopher, Sadhguru, karma's a fucking bitch. Beautiful. What I was going for is that European style of wood, the Jenga blocks. Looks real pretty. You can't laugh at your buddy. I mean, there's nothing. The whole reason you have friends is so you can laugh at them when they fail. You're welcome, friend. Keep your dick in a vice.
Get my silhouette out of the picture again? Is that what you... Okay.
Please.
You don't like it? You don't like my stylish fedora? There's only one man who ever made a fedora look cool, right? It wasn't me.